Medic. Thank you for joining me today for this Stretchy Flow. It's going to be a 20 to 30 minute flow, which is going to be a really lovely one if you're feeling a bit lethargic, a little bit like you need a good stretch out. It was inspired post-night shifts for me, when I just felt like I needed to get moving. So hopefully you'll enjoy this slightly shorter flow today. I recommend you have a block or two with you. We're going to be doing a little bit of pyramid pose, which is a good hamstring stretch. So these are good if you've got a little bit of tightness in your hamstrings there, to give you a little bit of extra length in your arms. We're going to start today in child's pose. So coming to the mat, you can have your knees together or your knees apart, whichever one feels nicer for you. And then I'm just going to reach the arms nice and long out in front. Let your forehead rest on the mat. And give yourself time to settle into your practice today. Feel that lengthening in the front of the body. And with each inhale, become aware of the expansion at the back of the chest. And with each exhale, try and melt a little bit more into the floor. Bring some tension into the hands, push into the fingertips, just enough so that you can walk them over off the edge of the mat towards the left. And see how far forward you can reach your fingers when they're in that position. Feel real lengthening in the right side of the body. You can take hold of the right wrist with the left hand if you'd like, and really pull on that side just to get that stretch. Becoming aware of the breath again, steadily in and steadily out. And your next inhale again, lifting up onto the fingertips, walking back round to the middle, and then off of the right hand side of your mat. Sinking nice and deeply into that stretch along the left side. If you took the wrist on the other side, do so on this side. So left wrist into the right hand. And breathe. On an inhale, work your way back to the centre, lifting yourself up into the all fours tabletop position for some cat-cows. We're going to move slightly differently today. So on an inhale, coming forwards over the fingertips, and at the top of your inhale, reaching the head and the tailbone up to the sky. Keeping that cow position, pulling all the way back towards almost a child's pose, but just before you get there, inhale round, chin to chest, round the back up into cat pose. Bring that forwards over the fingertips, and as you get to the top of that movement and the inhale, you arch into cow pose. Again, rocking that cow pose all the way back, nearly to child's pose. Inhale, chin to chest. And just keep taking that movement in your own time, with your own breath. Feeling that really luxurious movement of the spine. See how big you can make this movement today. How much can you arch and lift? How tightly can you round, chin all the way to the chest, pulling up through the thoracic ribs. And on your next inhale, coming to find stillness in tabletop position. Tuck your toes and lift the knees just so you're just hovering off the mat here. Belly button pulled in towards the spine, engaging your abs to protect your lower back. And feel that energy building, that heat. Breathe, don't forget to breathe. And on your next exhale, lifting the hips back upwards towards the ceiling, coming into downward dog. Pedal the feet out here. Keep a bend in the knees if your legs are needing some time to wake up today. And when you find stillness, Try and just overstretch this a tiny little bit. So normally I say to really lift through the shoulders here to keep nice and strong. See how it feels today to kind of push your hands away from you, really sort of stretching the back, and lift that tailbone up towards the ceiling and see how much length you can get there. On an inhale, rock forwards into plank. And on an exhale, sink the hips, keep the toes tucked under, sink the hips down into a sort of modified upward dog pose. Only as far as feels comfortable for your back today. On an exhale, lifting the hips back up into that downward dog. Inhale, rise up onto the toes, rocking forwards into plank, dropping the hips down and breathing here. Exhale, lift the hips back up into downward dog. Inhale, right leg rises to the sky. Exhale, knee to nose, really curve. Inhale, right leg back up to the sky. Exhale, plant that foot in between the hands and drop your back knee. Arms lift, coming up into a low lunge. Now here, you can either be coming forward quite a bit to feel that stretch in the hip flexor at the front of the left leg, making sure your front knee doesn't go over your ankle. Or an easier way, and sometimes a little bit gentler on the knees, is to just tuck your pelvis under, so feel like you're bringing pelvis forwards, and you'll feel that front hip flexor engage there, and then you probably only need to come forwards a fractional amount to still feel that same stretch. Arms up by the ears. Inhale here. Exhale, drop the right arm and twist over that right leg. See if you can twist from the core here, so really engage your belly. Inhale here. Exhale, windmill the arms, so we're coming round into a warrior two pose but on the floor, pretty much. Flip that front palm, and on an inhale we're going to lean up and backwards into a sort of low lunge reverse warrior almost. Again, make sure your abdominals are engaged, you're not sinking and sort of flopping into that back. Exhale, we come back, plant both hands on the floor, tucking the back toes, and then I want you to push up onto your fingertips. Here might be useful to grab your blocks, and we're going to rock backwards into a half split. And forwards, coming back again into that lunge, and backwards. It's fine if your half split doesn't look anything like this. You might be up on blocks, your front leg may not get straight, so you might not be able to lift the toes on the front foot. That doesn't matter, it's just kind of getting into this stretchy movement here. When you come to the front, plant your left hand, tucking the back toes, lift that knee, and twist that right arm up to the ceiling. Bringing it back down, step back, both feet into high plank. Either drop the knees, going into a half chaturanga, or come with me for the full flow. Inhale, upward dog. Exhale, downward dog. Inhale, left leg rises. Exhale, knee to nose. Inhale, left leg to the sky. Exhale, bring that foot forwards, plant it and drop the back knee. Again, arms lifting up to the sides. Either come forwards into that stretchy lunge, or bringing the pelvis tucked under, just come forwards a little bit. Twist over the left leg. Again, we're trying to initiate that movement from the core. Bringing the arms round, we're going to come to the other side here. So you should be sort of facing the opposite side of your mat here. Flip that front palm, lifting up and over for a low lunge reverse warrior. Exhale, coming forwards over that front leg, again with your blocks if you need them. Exhale, we come back into our half split. Inhale, coming forward. Really bring the chest through when you come forward. Exhale, move your hips backwards. Inhale, forwards again into that lunge. Exhale, half split. Plant the right hand and the left foot. Tuck the back toes under, lift that knee, coming into a twisted high lunge. Hands to the floor, step back, again taking your version of chaturanga and your vinyasa flow. Inhale, upward dog. Exhale, downward dog. Inhale, right leg to the sky, bend that top leg, and let it sort of flop over, so you're really opening the hips up to the side here. Exhale, bring the right knee to the right elbow. Inhale, three-legged dog, right leg to the sky. Exhale, knee to nose, and then plant that foot. Keep the back leg raised this time, coming up into high lunge. As we did on the other side, we're going to twist over that right leg again, but this time we're in a high lunge rather than a low lunge. Really try and scissor your legs together here to give you stability. Inhale. Exhale, cartwheel the arms round, turn the back foot to 90 degrees, coming into warrior two. Inhale here. Exhale, flip the front hand, and on an inhale, coming back into reverse warrior. Breathe here. Inhale. Exhale, coming up, bringing the body forwards and planting the right arm on the right thigh for extended side angle, so that left arm sweeps up and overhead. And then on an inhale, straighten your front leg and bring the body down into triangle pose. So here the right hand can be on the floor, it can be just sort of balancing on the inside of your ankle, or it can be on the ankle, shin, or wherever you can reach, just not on the knee joint. If you can, turn your head up to the ceiling and hold here for a bit of balance. Inhale here. Exhale, bring the arms down to surround that front foot and turn both hips to face the front of your mat, coming into pyramid pose. You might need to scoot your back leg in a little bit. Try not to lock your legs out here, keep a little micro bend in so you're using your muscles, not your joints. And we're just going to lift up halfway here. Hands can come to the hips or to prayer, or if you want a little bit more, they can come out alongside your ears here. Bring the hands back down onto your blocks or either side of your foot. And here we're going to do as we did lower down, but instead of going forwards and backwards into your lunge, we're just going to inhale, push up, find length, push up onto your fingertips, find length in the spine. Then on your exhale, fold forwards. Inhale, we find length. Exhale, we fold. And doing this up on blocks is absolutely perfect if that's where you're at. Inhale, length. Exhale, fold. On the next inhale, raise the right leg back up through into your three-legged dog. Exhale, bend the top leg. You can stay here, or you can bring your right arm off the floor and flip it over, so you're bringing the right foot down towards the floor and sink your bottom down. So you're not quite sitting down, but your right foot is firmly planted on the floor. Inhale, push through that right foot and lift the hips up to the ceiling, coming into wild thing. So here you're lifting the hips and really stretching that right arm up overhead for a beautiful stretch along the front of the body. Hold here. Inhale here, stretch up. Exhale, bringing both hands back down to the mat and flipping that right leg back over. Knee to nose in plank. Inhale, right leg back up to the sky. Exhale, knee to nose. Plant that front foot on the floor and step the left leg up to meet it so that you're at the front of your mat. And forward fold here. You can take both elbows in your hands if you'd like. And just sway gently, let the head be heavy. Let the weight of the head sort of stretch out the upper spine. Inhale here. And exhale, relax completely. Bring a slight bend into the knees, and on your inhale, roll slowly up to stand. Chin and head coming last. Exhale, roll those shoulders back. Shift the weight into your left foot, preparing for tree pose. Here, make sure you're rooted down through your left foot, really lifting up through the arches of your feet. And try using the strength of your legs rather than just your hands to place your right foot. So tree pose for you may look like this with the foot on the floor, absolutely fine. It might be here on the shin, or, and again, try doing it with your strength here. You may want to try and bring the leg up and see if you can get it above the knee. You can adjust with your hand afterwards, but see if you can do it with the strength of your leg. Just make sure the foot's not placed on the actual knee joint. Bringing the hands to prayer in the middle. And fix your gaze on something, probably the corner of the room, directly in the centre. On an inhale, if you're feeling balanced, raise the arms up towards the ceiling. You can part your arms here as if your branches are reaching up to the sky. A really lovely version of this that I heard was called Willow, where you then just gently bend the upper body over that bent leg, coming into a nice side stretch. Inhale, come back up to centre, hands to prayer, and back down as you lower that leg. Follow those hands all the way down into a forward fold. Inhale, hands to shins, find length. Exhale, fold. Step or jump back into high plank and lower down for chaturanga. Inhale, upward dog. Exhale, downward dog. Inhale, left leg rises. Exhale, bring that left knee forwards to your left elbow. Inhale, back up to the sky. Exhale, knee bends underneath and step that foot just behind the hands. Keep the back leg lifted, lifting up into high lunge. Inhale here. Exhale, twist from the core over that left leg. Again, really try and squeeze the legs together here to give you stability. Inhale. Exhale, cartwheel the hands, turn that back heel, coming into warrior two on the other side, sink forwards into your front leg, and breathe here. Inhale, flip that front palm, reaching up and over, coming into reverse warrior. Inhale together. Exhale, cartwheel the arms down, bringing that elbow again onto that front thigh for extended side angle. And inhale, straighten that front leg, bring the arm up towards the ceiling, coming into triangle pose on the other side. So that bottom arm can be just resting on the inner ankle, can be on the shin, on the thigh, on a block. Inhale together. Exhale, fold over that front leg and straighten the hips and the toes up to face the front of the mat, coming into our pyramid pose. Again, you might want to have your hands on blocks here. Lifting up using the strength in our legs, so really pull your feet together. Bring the hands to the hips or to prayer or alongside your ears. Really strong in the legs. Engage your abs here. Inhale, exhale. Inhale, exhale, bring the hands down to the floor or onto your blocks. And then we're going to do our inhale, pushing up onto fingertips. Exhale, fold over the leg. Inhale, press up. Exhale, fold. One more time, inhale, find that length. And exhale, see if we can get a little bit deeper. Plant the hands on the floor next to your foot and sweep that left leg back up to the sky. Bend your top leg and stay here, or if you did on the other side, drop that back foot over, coming in to your seated position on the other side, keeping the bottom just off the floor. On an inhale, push through, particularly the left foot, but your right foot as well, and lift those hips up to the sky and reach the left arm up and overhead. Feeling that lengthening in the front of the body. All the way from the right toes to the left fingertips. Hold here. Inhale together. Exhale together. Inhale once more. On your exhale, you're going to flip back over, knee to nose in your turbo plank. Inhale, leg to the sky. Exhale, plant that foot just behind your hands and step together to the front of your mat. Exhale, fold here to Uttanasana. Just take a few breaths here. Find your center, find your breath again. On your next inhale, slight bend in the knees. Roll gradually up to stand. Exhale, roll your shoulders back. This time bringing the weight into the right foot for our tree pose on the other side. Again, see how far you can get your leg up just using the strength. And a little bit of a cheat from me there with your toes. And come to find your balance on this side. Again, raise the gaze, find a nice static spot. And on your inhale, lift your arms up. Keep them in prayer, you can spread them wide. And if you did so on the other side, coming into willow, bending over that left side. And inhale, raising back up. Exhale, bring the hands back down through heart center and drop that left foot. Follow your hands all the way back down to the floor once more. Inhale, find length. Exhale, step or jump back into your high plank, chaturanga. Inhale, upward dog. Exhale, downward dog. Come forwards into a sort of semi-plank position here and bring the right knee forwards, and the idea is to place the right knee behind the right wrist and the right foot behind the left wrist. Wiggle your back leg backwards, we're going to come into pigeon pose. Here you may like to take a block and place it underneath the right side of your bottom. And you find whichever position feels stretchiest for you today. So that might be upright like this. It might be slightly reclined on the forearms, or coming completely down onto the floor, whatever feels good for you today. And I remind you, if you feel a lot of torsion and discomfort in this front knee, try bringing your right foot closer in towards your body. That makes it just slightly less intense on the knee there. If this pose doesn't feel good for you, if your hips don't like it or your knees don't like it, and you find that even those modifications and props don't help, take yourself back into child's pose and have that nice long lengthy stretch of the arms out. Just breathe here. Breathe in whichever expression of this pose you found for yourself today. Breathe here. On your next inhale, gradually start to work yourself back up to the upright pigeon position. Tuck your back toes and bring that right leg back to join the left one in your high plank. Swap your legs over, doing exactly the same thing on the left side now. Again, wiggling that back foot back so you really feel that nice stretch in the back hip flexor. And taking whichever version you want to on this side. It may not be the same version as you did on the other side. Our hips and our knees are different and they may feel better or worse on one side than the other. So whichever one feels better for you. Once you find your position, drop the eyes closed and start slowing down that breath. On your next inhale, work yourself back up to the upright position. Bring the weight onto the left side of your bottom and scooch that right leg round to the front of the mat. And then we're going to lower ourselves down onto our backs for our final few stretches. Bring your arms out into goalposts or cactus arms, up to either side. And put a little bit of pressure into your feet, just so you can scoot your hips over to the left-hand side of your mat. Let the knees drop towards the right for a nice spinal twist. You can turn the head towards the left to intensify that as well. If you'd like to make this stretch a bit deeper, you can bring the bottom leg, so your right foot, and rest it on top of the left knee, just for that little bit of extra pressure there. And the goal here is to really keep the shoulders on the floor and let the spine do the twist. Inhale, legs back up to centre. Lift those hips up and scooch them to the right hand side. Dropping the knees over towards the left this time. Head towards the right. And if it feels nice, you can bring that bottom leg on top for a slightly deeper twist. Inhale, knees back up to centre, straighten off your hips. And let the legs stretch out all the way, coming into Shavasana. Shavasana here, you can keep the arms in goalposts if that feels really lovely. Or if you prefer to bring them down by the sides of the body, palms facing upwards. Try and see if you can tuck your shoulder blades in a little bit so you're not round-shouldered. And then let go of any tension that you may be holding on to. Let the feet gently flop outwards to the sides. Let the mouth relax, the eyelids soften. And the beauty of Shavasana, which means corpse pose, is the idea that you let go of absolutely every bit of tension within you. And then when we start waking up again at the end and we come back up to our seated position, it symbolises rebirth. Lovely way of starting afresh, letting go of anything you don't want to hold on to, that perhaps you brought into your practice today. See if you can leave it behind and not take it into the rest of your day. Start to bring a little bit of movement into your fingers and your toes. Maybe circle the wrists and the ankles. Scoot your legs together, bring the arms up overhead and stretch as much as you possibly can, as if it's the very first thing in the day. Inhale at the top of your stretch. Exhale, relax and roll onto your side. On your next inhale, place your right hand onto the floor and push yourself up, coming into a comfortable seated position, keeping the eyes closed if you can. Bring the hands into heart center. And just check in with your body. How does it feel after that nice stretchy flow? Do you feel a bit looser? Hopefully a little bit less stressed. The light in me sees the light in you. Namaste. Thank you for joining me today for that stretchy flow here at the Mindful Yoga Medic. I hope that leaves you feeling energized and lovely and stretchy and relaxed for the rest of your day. See you soon. Bye.